Well, hey guys, it's Retro Dad. Well, I did it. What did I do? Well, let's talk about that after this.
If you want more gaming and collecting content, don't forget to subscribe to stay in the know.
So I did it. I got my final NES game for the month of March and possibly to the end of April or beginning of May. What did I pick up? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's party time. Excellent. Who ever thought that putting Wayne and Garth in a video game would be a good idea? Obviously it wasn't. So Wayne's World. This isn't actually a game that goes over $100, but honestly, I'd rather play Wayne's World than Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is a terrible game. Not my least favorite on the NES. You know what my least favorite game for the NES is? Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Crappy juice. It's a terrible game. This is actually one of my least favorite games for the NES. Now, I got this originally, I think about 2010, maybe 2011. I think it's 2010 though. I was really excited. Oh, so the Beetlejuice on the NES, popped it in, and it was just terrible. Now, I got farther in it later on when I played it about a couple years ago again, but still, this is my least favorite NES game. But Swampy is a game that also goes over $100. Right now it's hovering below 110. At one time people were trying to get about 150 for this a couple of years ago. It has gone down in value, which is good because it should be a game way under $10 because it's a terrible game. Now surprisingly, the Game Boy version isn't as bad, but it's still pretty bad. We'll talk about that another time too. But why do we allow games that are not that great to demand extremely high prices, but games that are really good are on the lower end? Like take for example, Ninja Gaiden 2. This is a great game, but it's usually under $15 loose. Even the complete in the box copy only goes between $40 to $50. Same price really wasn't released in the early 90s. But why do we allow games like this to be cheaper, but games that are really bad be really expensive? Look at Die Hard, another arguably semi-bad Nintendo game, according to most people. I like parts of Die Hard, I think it's a bad rep, but it should be a game that's not worth what it goes for right now, which is over $100. So that's something I want you guys to think about today. Prices in why do we allow as collectors for games that are not that great to be worth more money than games that are great?
Of course, there are games released late in a system's life. Taito games come to mind, Power Blade 2, Bubble Bobble 2, the Jetsons as well. These were released later on, and maybe they didn't sell well. We've all heard that story. Just because they were released later on does not mean we can't control the price what they're set at. If no one buys, none get sold, and prices eventually have to come down. Like one-of-a-kind items, of course they're going to be more valuable, but not every game is a one-of-a-kind. There's hundreds, dozens, thousands, sometimes millions, and the prices should reflect that. We can control it, that's all I'm saying.
Sequels like Casino Kid 2 is a game that goes over $100, but Casino Kid 1 is a game that's under $6. I know this was released later on in Nintendo's life. I think it's a better game than Casino Kid 1, but why do we allow as collectors? Because we're the ones who shape prices. Now, there's some manipulation in the background, all of us know that, but why do we allow as collectors and video game enthusiasts to allow games that shouldn't be worth over $100 be over $100? I'll admit, guys, I'm guilty of it. I go out there and buy games because I want to get them in my collection. I don't go cheap. I'm not a cheap collector like some people. I know we have a notorious bad rap for being cheapskates. I'm not like that. I pay market. People might go on the hunt and bump into a really rare, expensive game like Dragon Fighter. They might buy it for a couple dollars. Well, I didn't spend mine for a couple dollars. I paid way under market. I like getting deals, but I don't go cheap. I'm kind of impatient. I'd rather get the set wrapped up and spend a little bit of money to save time on life than waiting around for 10 years to find this for $1. That's just how I operate. How can we change things? We can join forces and unionize as collectors, in a sense of the word, and stop buying at ridiculous prices. Will that work? I don't think so, because I'm guilty. Like I said, I'll go out there and buy games I want to get them. I think that's the problem. There's a lot of games out there for certain people's sets. Now, I'm only missing 24 licensed games, and only 11 of them I've never owned. I'm only missing 13 or 12 from the old set now. I'm only missing 9 games to get 686 again. Like I said, I'm slowing down right now, even though I'm kind of eyeing Motor City Patrol, I'm kind of eyeing Conan, and even Zombie Nation. This is where I had a problem even when I was collecting in my old set. Games like this, the Koei brand, I know I'm not going to play them. You know, the real world strategy like Uncharted Waters, Ambition 1 and 2, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, just to name a few. I have a hard time when I play them because it's not my style. But I want them in the collection because I want to get that set and feel accomplished. Hey, I did it. But that's another thing to really kind of explore. Why do us collectors go out and try to get complete video game sets? What's the point? What's the point of getting a complete video game set? Even I've asked myself that same question. What is the point? Well, it's the journey, like I said before, but it's also having the games. Because one day I want to sit back and go, you know what? Maybe one weekend I'll play all my NES games. Every single game. I'll go play it. Maybe I'll stream it. Maybe I'll just videotape some of the adventure. But also having the games at the tip of my hand, that's really exciting. If my little old 9-10-year-old self could see this wall, I might faint, my old self, because I've never seen so many games as a kid. But we shape the price. We shape the hobby. So what can we do to change things? If you're worried about prices, don't buy. That's simple. 2, don't buy just to buy. When I go out and go to expos or, small little cons, I come across problems like that where I'll buy just to buy. Bad retro dad, don't do that. There's a hole burning in your pocket because you have that wad of cash at an expo. But stick to a list, stick to what you want. I'm not a collector that collects everything. I'm very focused for the most part. Yeah, I get Sega, yeah, I get Super Nintendo. Mostly NES and Game Boy. Occasionally I'll get a PSP game or original Xbox game or PlayStation 2. I'm trying to limit that. I'm mostly just focusing on this, a little bit of Super Nintendo, a little bit of Sega Genesis, and Game Boy. 3, if you see a game that is way over market, don't buy it. Simple as that. I know it's hard. Sometimes you have to, though. I'll contradict myself right now. Sometimes you have to. It might be a game you never bump into. And I have several of those. Power Blade 2, for example. So if you can, be patient. I know, I'm impatient, but if you can, do it. 4, get sociable. Get to know other collectors, other people out there. This is basic collecting 101. They might help you on your journey. Now, I'll admit, I belong to a couple groups, and I've been looking for a certain Game Boy game. Because I'll tell you a little story. Remember that game I thought I was going to get about a week ago, and it was going to be the USA version? No, they sent me the UK version twice, even though I put in big notes. Hey, you told me USA, this is not. And they told me they were sending me a USA one. They didn't. They sent me the UK one again. Wah, wah. I went up my groups and I said, hey, I'm looking for, I'll just go ahead and say it, Mr. Do for the Game Boy USA. It's a game that is impossible to find these days. It's a game that's about $50. And I went to my group, hey guys, I'm looking to buy Mr. Do USA. Anyone have one? And crickets. I know lately when I've asked for, I'm in search of something, no one's really been that helpful, but mostly people are very helpful. 5, have a plan. I talked about having a 5-year plan. I believe that most collectors and most of us out there in this hobby should have a plan, and we should have an expiration date. It's your right to do what you want to do. It's your money. You can go out and buy what you want to buy. But have a plan. It will benefit you in the long run, and it will make things smoother looking for stuff. So just have a plan. There's a lot of fakery out here in this hobby, so watch out for fakes. Now I got the Mighty Final Fight one at City Game Exchange. They knew it was fake, they advertised it as fake, I got it for a couple bucks. So that'd be kind of cool to compare it to the real Final Fight, and there are some flaws with some of the fake cards. But this look, I don't know if I told you a story, but I bought Snow Brothers over the last summer, and I bought it on eBay because I couldn't find it anywhere locally, and it was for a really good deal. And in the pictures you couldn't tell because it was kind of blurry, and I was like, okay, it's a pretty good buy. The price said it was probably real, and it said authentic, genuine. Bought it. Something inside me goes, hey, check this guy's feedback. After I already bought it. I don't know why I didn't do it before. That's a tip. Always do it before. Checked it, and all these guys are like, hey, this is fake. This is fake. I had to get eBay involved to respond. Put the brakes on and said, hey. If this is fake, send my money back to me ASAP. Do not send it to me. It's just going to cause a bigger hassle. He ignored my messages. Send it to me. Got it. It's fake. Now here's the thing. You can't tell.
He cannibalized a real board and cart. Pop quiz, which one's the fake one? Top or bottom? Did you guess? The top one is the fake one. Winbond chip is a dead giveaway. Unfortunately, some people wouldn't or couldn't tell. It is a real Nintendo ROM board. Just certain chips are removed and replaced. Sneaky, sneaky.
Watch out for fakery. And the biggest thing is have fun. Gaming is supposed to be fun. Collecting is supposed to be fun. If you're not enjoying it, don't do it. So that's the biggest tip. Have fun. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. I got 677. I'm so close. It's time to party on. Excellent. Have fun. Stay safe. Go game. See you later. Extreme close-up. Whoa. Probably the last time I do that. If I got real Snow Brothers eventually, give me this fake manual too.